Hello. I'm here and I exist. And I play Stanley Parable and you watch me play Stanley Parable. And that's how that goes in this streamer world where streaming is a thing that we do. Yep. Anyway, I'm launching the game. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it to actually show up without having to change anything. I also want to have this up front. There we go. Oh, I see the video game. Let me fix it and then we can switch over. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Wait. There. Okay. We're going to have subtitles because I'm streaming. The answer to this is yes. I have actually played the Stanley Parable before. Boop. I have no idea what that's actually going to do. Oh, adjusting sliders. I'm going to have to know if... I'm going to have to find out if the sound is okay. I messed with the sliders some beforehand, but I didn't really test this game in particular, so we'll have to find out. Technically it should be down. I'm not going to do too much, though. Enter the current why? This is why I wanted to... I considered testing and going further, but, like... This is the sort of thing where I'm like, what? Well, huh? Why am I doing this? Like, this is very Stanley Parable already, so I'm glad I'd went ahead and started. I have... Sends me access from there. Okay. I have sketches of emotes from an artist. And that's fun. I'm messing with a couple things still. Make sure everything's good. Sure, why not? Yeah, this looks fine. Let's go higher. No. Okay. I love this. Was that there in the original? I don't know what was gonna... Oh, I'm so interested in if, like, choosing that I've played before is going to affect anything. That should be fun. I'll wait a little bit longer just in case. I don't know if anybody's actually going to show up or not today. We'll see. So I'm gonna give it a second, in case anybody doesn't want to miss any of this videoed game. Because I played Stanley Parable. I think I did. Oh my God! Finally. Hi, Poppy Pollo. Thank you. Yeah, it's very good. There's a link to the artist in my description, by the way. And there's going to be emotes soon-ish. I have, what do you call it? Sketches. There's sketches now from the artist, and I'm going to actually have emotes. I'm going to have everything. I'm also working on at least one other cool thing that should be interesting. We'll see. But, I don't know. I guess I might as well just go ahead and get started. Let's play the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, thank you for the something. I can't see. Wait.
Stanley
Thank you
worked
for
for
the
a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job.
You'll have to
was
let me
simple.
know if the sound is
He
okay.
sat at his desk in room
Actually, wait.
427
Boink. Or is it to move some stuff? There we go.
and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
It's Stanley.
Telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day,
Yeah, right?
every month, of every
I maybe want to eventually
Well,
replace it
others
with,
might have
like,
considered it
something
soul-winning.
custom.
Stanley
That'll cost a
relished
lot.
every moment that they
Because I'll
was
want it to be like an animated thing. It sounds a bit
Though
loud
he
in the
made
game.
exactly for this
I can turn it
job.
down. It seems to pause, so I can't, like, do it in real time. I'm gonna try to do a bunch? I don't know.
And Stanley
Is that better?
was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give
I love
him
that Stanley
instructions,
is, after
or
all this time,
meeting,
still
or even
basically
say
just
hi.
one of those
Never
default
in all his years at the
civilian
company had this
NPCs
happened.
from
This
Half-Life 2.
complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Did I, though? Maybe I just stayed here. Oh, you know what? No, let's, because I don't know what's going to be different. Actually, I have to turn down the, sensitivity is high. Let's try like here. No, that's still too high. I'm too much of a gamer for this game. It's still too high. I put it to 0. I don't know what to do. Just the look when dragging the mouse. This might be just for whatever. This is fine. Oh, I'm done. I'm gonna look. Okay, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. Well, okay. We're gonna probably just do
All
like.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I can't jump. I don't like that. I forgot about that. This is an important mug. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do what the narrator says this time. We're gonna see if anything changes from last time, from the first time, the video to game. I'm betting it's just the same, but might as well cover all our bases, especially since I never played this on stream. I mean, I wasn't even streaming back then.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just do whatever you say. This is all normal so far.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Resent your coworkers for not supporting you more. Let it ball up inside you. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market paradigms. Monetize free-to-play. Of course. You, most of all. I'm so unique. Look at how unique I am. I'm gonna go in the broom closet. Nobody ever goes in the broom closet in Stanley Parable.
Stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
You know what? You're right, Mr. Narrator. We're gonna save that for later.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, I did. That's what I did. Definitely. It's not here. I knew that. It's up here. It's very pretty. It's definitely HDified. That's very ultra and very deluxe.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Very secret.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nope. I don't know it, so I'm just going to wander around and look at things. Ooh, can I check this? I forgot that it makes like typing sounds
Stanley just
when you
sat
try to do
around
stuff.
twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, fine.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
Oh yeah, this is.
code.
I remember this.
By sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh, now we're in the back rooms. Haha. Modern references for these modern times, for these ultra deluxe times. Oop.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I'm actually always questioning the nature of my job.
Stanley walked straight
Ah.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape sounds really good right now. I wouldn't mind just, you know, doing whatever I want forever instead. But the narrator said I went to the door, so I gotta go through the door. What else could possibly happen?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I think I do. Stanley might too. Oh, there's only one button. I guess I pressed this. Is the same mug. I hate Mondays. You know, same. You, me, and Garfield.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of
What's
them,
this one? Can you zoom?
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
It's gone
nothing.
now. Somebody's been fired. Shush. Quiet, phone. Oh, I guess I go forward. I am doing the experience as intended. This time anyway.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, it sounds right. It all sounds perfect.
No. He refused to
No,
believe
I
it.
changed my mind,
He
actually.
couldn't accept it.
That's not
His
right.
own life in someone
No!
else's control?
Never!
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah! Destroy the machine by pressing the big off button, I assume. What's that say? Yeah, I can't read that. Okay, off. Ooh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Of course it is. That's the end of the video game.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Here it comes.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Who knows?
But
Yep,
as
short game.
sunlight
Thank you
streamed
for the
into the
chat.
chamber, he realized
Mirav-
none of this
Miraval-
mattered to him.
wait,
For it was not
Miravalire.
knowledge or even power that
Right?
he
Did I get
had
that
been
right?
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had
Short
not
game,
been to
short stream.
understand, but to let go.
Ooh, this is a lot nicer
No
looking than
longer
it was
would
in the
anyone
original.
Tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Let me out.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
I can't yet.
Stanley
there we go.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
And now the rest
This
of the
was
game is an
exactly the
open world
way,
adventure.
right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. I'm glad Stanley's happy. I beat the game. I got an achievement for it even. It says, beat the game. So I beat it. It's over. The end. Oh, wait, no. I'm back here. Okay.
All of his
Now to
focus
actually
was
play the
gone.
game.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Wait. What was the door that you have to check over and over? One of these does something. I don't remember. Okay, I'll get there. I'm sure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge.
I guess I got my
first,
left and right
just
mixed
to
up.
admire it.
Oops.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had
Truly.
really been worth the detour after all, just to spend
Look,
a few
cold
moments
drinks.
here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I just want my drinks. Oh, Stanley.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Number 1 dad.
Room so utterly captivating.
I can't read
that
this
even
one.
though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Oh,
Really
well, I got
worth
over.
it.
Be my Valentine. This is the I Hate Mondays one again.
At this point,
Coffee
Stanley's
nut.
obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall
Fuel.
personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Okay, fine.
But
Let's
at
go.
last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
What's over here? Oh, I remember this.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can I get over? Oh, I can't jump. I keep forgetting. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death.
Look,
Oh.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust
I think
in
I can make it.
someone else can be, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I did it. I beat the game again.
All of his co-workers
I got
were
the best
gone.
ending.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Gotta
Stanley knew it perfectly
speed run
well.
now.
Perhaps he wanted to
Get
stop
to something
by the
fun and
employee
new.
lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
Wow.
took the first open door on his left.
No. I refuse.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
I love this game so much.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I'm very eager to see if I can find the
investing
new
your
stuff.
Trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really?
Haha!
Middle of something, do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
I've seen it.
Let me prove
Been
it.
there, done that.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, here I go.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, one more try.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
It's
I
the
haven't even
developer.
finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here.
It's
in
an
the
orange
first
map.
place. Broken rooms, exposed
Wait,
developer
wait.
textures.
Give me a rocket
Is this
launcher.
what you
I think I
wanted?
could do some
Was it
sick
worth
jumps.
ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I think I will. It's very nice. It's a different texture. That's good. It's not finished inside, but that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
No. That's fantastic.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't
So
teach
deep.
that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. Yes, the leaderboard. That's great. These lights are unfinished, apparently. I guess was it in the way? Then it zooms down as it finds Stanley. There's Stanley. This is you. Apparently I played for 7 hours. That's a longer stream than I thought I'd done. But, thanks for sticking around this long.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I mean, I like it. It's very well done, but I don't think it really adds anything to the game.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh, here we go.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Okay.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Here we go. This is the rest of the stream. 4 hours, of course. This would be a great time to let me know if the sound is too high. I can turn it down some more. No, I think I'm done. That's enough of that.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Both.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
Bye-bye.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Can we play some Splatoon?
Yes.
I've been really into that lately.
Seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
All right, here comes Splatoon. It's another Splatoon stream. Here we go. Oh. Oh!
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our
This
backstory?
is this the same
What is
from
our
before?
motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, heroic purpose.
I don't think that's quite right.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
Who firewatches the
I love
Firewatch?
everything about this game, Stanley. And it
Cool
seems
ass.
there's even more.
This
Come,
is great.
Let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh, really? Oh, cool! I can play. I'm playing Firewatch on stream. I need to update the stream. I think we're playing Firewatch now, not Stanley Parable. I wasn't planning on playing Firewatch, but I guess that's what's happening now. I've never played it before, so this should be interesting.
Oh no! No! It can't be.
This looks great. What's wrong? Let's go this way. Let's go this way.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God! Quickly
Chauncey
block
Lake?
it off.
Okay. No, but I was gonna go see the lake.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here.
I think we're actually in the
Let's
woods.
find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Half-Life 2.
Okay.
That has big walls. They
I
move.
think
And they like
this
crawl
will be just
and eat a
the
city.
thing.
It's great. Oh. This is new.
See,
This is great.
Exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I really can't do anything, though, because I'm not in a
Okay, so
car.
what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
I can hear the crowd already.
Here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, the ball. Yay. Oh, I'm fast now, too. Boing. Boing. Oh, this is great.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then
feel like I
surely
could jump down there
multiple
and-
balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
2 balls.
Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more.
Give me
I'm
more balls.
insatiable. More balls.
Oh my god, there's so many balls. I love balls. This is the rest of the stream now.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Oh.
That's
What?
right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides,
I'm gonna jump in the
you
goal.
need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See
Bye-bye.
how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
I'm gonna jump in.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Can't see. Work in progress. I don't want to jump off. I'm too young to die. Well, okay. I at least don't want to die. Is there something over here? I think there is. I'm just going to keep walking. Oops. Oh yeah, this is the part where this is the this is what the game originally looked like as a mod, isn't it? Or at least a little bit anyway. This part is kind of creepy. I feel ill at ease. Oh, look! There's the doors. Well, I'm gonna head back to my office. Yeah. I remember this. Oh my god. Because I actually played the mod originally. I played the mod, and then the full release. Oh. I think I died.
What he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
We're all waiting. Nope. Here we are again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
One of these had like a... Yeah. Oh, do you have to do that like each time? Because it went up one before and now it's gone up one again. Oh, look, a clip. New content? Yeah, hell yeah, that's what we're here for.
New content? What does that mean? New content.
A clip. I kind of want to watch the clip. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I'm seeing new Stanley Parable content.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I'm very aware.
Receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Amazing! Oh, this is so very Ultra Deluxe.
Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I'm very delighted.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay, yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
It's a nice elevator. I like this. There's new New textures here.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere?
Nope.
Oh,
there it goes.
All right, finally. Long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I'm very ready. I'm so ready for new Stanley Parable content.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I love content.
All
New
right.
content.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump. I can jump. Yeah! I can jump. I can jump. Oh, you probably clipped I love balls, didn't you? I can see where that is, the thumbnail. Oh, it's over. Well, we did have some fun there.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
No.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new
It's
content,
very exciting.
then I
Come
could
on.
just read
We've
you
never
the
been able to jump
dictionary.
before.
There's
Now I
20
jumped
hours
30
of new
something
content
times.
Right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I'm very ready.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me, is it, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
I can't
And don't
jump,
get
so
me
I can't get
started
in the
on
chair
level of
even.
craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Personally accountable, huh?
It's my
Oh,
fault.
did I start the... okay, wait. This is important. I didn't start the closed captioning. I don't know if anybody needs it, but it's working now.
Stanley,
Let me actually also be able to see stream and everything again, too.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Yeah!
No frills. No
Yeah!
beats.
Yeah!
Having a great time together like always.
Yeah, just
What do you
I'm
say,
wandering around, and sometimes I do what you say, and sometimes I don't. It's gonna be great. Wait a minute. This is slightly different. Wait. Okay, I gotta know. What is this clip? I think I know what it probably is. It's 20 whole seconds long. Okay, we're gonna do watching a clip thing. Let's do this thing. Let's see if I can. Jeez, I have too many things in here. This is display capture over there, right? Yeah, there we go. 2 ball.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more.
Give me
I'm
more ball.
insatiable. More balls.
Oh my god, there's so many balls. I love balls. Great. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was very, very, very good clip. You know, I love balls, but I hate Mondays. Look at what we had before. We've ruined it with this new game. Oops.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Coffee nut. Coffee nut. Sorry, I took a sippy.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Huh?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I
Had to
can
get the,
relive the peak
E3 look.
experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh, look at this.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how
2013
wonderful
when the
Stanley
Stanley
Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
Audience award. It got a BAFTA, as you can clearly see. It definitely isn't stolen. Tape over it. That's great. Oh, I gotta see the blurb. Everything you need to make a great idea is even better. In today's world, it isn't. Oh my god, it isn't. I wish they had the zoom on this. It isn't easy managing an effective productivity workflow. That's why the Stanley Parable can help you streamline your workplace efficiency. With Stanley Parable advanced computer system software, productivity loss and or efficiency gain becomes a thing of the past. Wait. At last, the power to convert ideas into actions is at your fingertips with the Stanley Parable. At last. Oh, it does say at last twice. It's all in one box, and it's all been designed to fit with the way that you run your life into the ground to make money for someone else at last. Amazing. 2014 Independent Games Independent Games Festival. Is this the actual time? Is that what's happening? No, it's not. Oh, scripts. That's awesome. Oh, postcards. Oh, this is great. The original remake. It was a remake. That is true. Smile because it happened. This is fantastic. Don't play for 5 years. Oh my god. I didn't get that. I think that was bugged for me. I didn't get the don't play for 5 years. I think maybe because I uninstalled. I think you had to have it uninstalled for 5 years without playing it. And I uninstalled it. Little Stanley. Oh no!
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Amazing.
Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created."
It's true.
Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
All
And now,
games. It's also
nothing.
Pac-Man.
It's no games at all.
Oh no.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's down there? Person of the year, Stanley. Oh, this is like a node. This is like a map thing in Source, right? A map thing. Oh, look, the buttons.
Here's another moving passage.
Repeatable
this
tournament
time
textures.
from
Amazing.
GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly
Source
stimulating
SDK.
commentary
Move
on the nature
things.
of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9
door
out of
is-
10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh, I can't go forward. It's in the there's stuff in the way. The serious room. How do I can't go forward. I can't jump. I want to see the serious room. I want to see how serious it is.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Ooh, drinks!
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, an online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh boy.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Mine was. I actually probably done the right one.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny. His humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
No, not a joke in sight. There's never been a joke. It's the most serious game ever made, is the thing. I was hoping I could get in there. It's deadly serious. You know, it really has incredible insights into making games and playing games, and also your real life.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on
Let's
my
burn it.
otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Aww.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
No.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can
Oh,
do that.
okay.
If I'm truly
Really?
too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the
Whoa.
Stanley. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered.
Why is the time
No
wrong?
more listening to me rambling on and on and
I
on.
put the
No,
time
no,
in.
No. The Stanley
Why did I put the time
Parable
in? What was
is
the
a
point?
game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up.
I'm
Here,
looking around.
We'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth.
Okay,
until
okay.
Inevitably, we all, until the end
I bet there's a lot of this. I'm gonna go ahead and click it.
All at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
Oh, he's gonna go again,
Not that,
isn't he?
of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Yeah.
Look,
This is what I'm really here
I'll outline
for.
it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person
I'm gonna do
who
laps
you
real
are,
quick.
or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Uh-huh.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the opposite? You see, it could in
I
fact
see.
be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices. And that
I'm
they
never
are
making
both
choices. In
affecting
fact,
you
I'm never
and
making
not
a choice
affecting
ever
you at the
again,
same
except for the
time,
choice
by
to be
virtue
walking
of
in
the fact
circles
that you
listening to this
both
person
are
talking.
and are
While
not
I talk
making
over
them.
this person because I'm streaming.
First, I
I'm
would
trying to
lean
stream and
towards
talk, and
manifesto,
I need to
but
talk
now I'm
so
going to
because I'm
circle
streaming.
around and
But
slap
also,
a
this guy's talking,
treatise
and I
label on
think
this
that you
one.
can't
I
hear
think it has
either
much
because
more
we're
of a
both talking at the
treatise
same
vibe
time.
to it.
My mic's speaking,
But
and I'm
wouldn't
just
you
kind of
say that
talking while this guy talks.
manifesto just has a
And
much
I don't really have that
grander
much to say,
storytelling
which is kind of
than has a
sad. And also,
mouthfeel
like,
that is rich
kind of
with
just,
ambition and history.
that's my whole life in a nutshell. Is I don't know that I really have much to
Now
give or
you've got
do
me
or
going back to
say.
manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here
Oh,
all day.
is he done?
Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word
Like
I am
every
not
word
sick
ever?
of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in
Oh
countless
no.
situations.
I get it. He's going to say the
Alright,
two
here
words.
we go.
Okay.
Treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto.
They really want me to click the button, huh?
Manifesto.
I almost want to see how long he does it.
Manifesto. Treatise,
Okay.
manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely
He's gonna go
whoever
again.
it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
I think Gaben
Or
is going to
perhaps
do
they'll
that.
simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that
Ooh.
the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads
the
as
narrative is
something
what
more
we're here for, you know?
beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the
That was a weird
phoenix of
bug.
quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The
Too true.
additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made.
Yeah.
It is perhaps true to say that no
Totally.
mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more
They
than
did
you
this
were
like
before.
they had this little
If
track
there is
around the
any
outside
message
on
to be taken
purpose.
from the
They
Stanley
knew you'd
Parable
need to do
Ultra
something while he
Deluxe,
talked.
it is this. What a fortune. A privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is
Put all the
time
work
for
in
us
to
become
record
our
it.
greatest selves.
I might as well
great
listen
we
to it.
ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I
He's gonna read it again.
It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time.
You can do that by yourself.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Oh, no.
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I don't
There
feel quite
was.
certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort.
Okay. We're moving on.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
I like
I've
this
looked
plant.
at it from every angle. I've checked
Wait, has it been
every
growing?
one of those walls a
Wait, maybe it
thousand
will grow, 'cause,
times.
I mean, it's only been
And
like
there's
a few
no
hours.
Door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, goodness. I have
The
someone
tree's
to
dead.
talk to again.
The
Stanley,
lights are all out.
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
I like the
Me
glow from the
talking,
button. That's very
you
Ultra
saying
and Deluxe.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't.
I mean, that's
Stanley.
most of the game.
It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story.
You
None of
need
that
me more
matters
than I
anymore.
need you.
I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These
Bye.
words... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome.
Oh, it's
I have
more
had
dead.
time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
I
Let
think
me
I just did.
describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time.
The clock stopped.
Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them.
Let's do it again.
collapsed down.
Narrator? Hello? Am I alone this time? You just go out to get a sandwich? Narrator's dead. Oh well, click the button. Now the fire alarm?
But they didn't understand that game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. The jokes were they didn't only scream. They gnashed their teeth and said, entertain wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
Is he even going to notice I'm here?
Consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives.
Too
It has
true.
come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who
Like,
we
follow,
are
and
as
subscribe.
people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness
Yeah, don't do that.
inside ourselves.
Watch a
We
stream.
would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something.
I'm not mad, you were
Maybe they
mad.
were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment.
Oh,
and
I bet it tastes
how
awful.
good does it feel now to speak truth to these
No good.
words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative
I'll change it up a
review
little.
on
Here you go.
Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower.
I hope this
are
doesn't
so
make anyone sick.
ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some
I hope
outlet
listening as a
through which
narrator
to
for so
tear
long doesn't
me
make anyone
down.
sick.
This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave
Here
a
we are
pathetic little
now.
thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability.
He started over.
It's the
Okay, we're alone again. Pressing button.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Oh. Something's leaking. The outside is starting to get in. I assume it's the end of the world outside. if there ever was a world outside to begin with. The world outside was like the memory zone, wasn't it? It was the end of the memory zone? Is it the end of the narrator? Can I can't jump still. I am outside of the jump circle. So I can't get up there. Okay. Ooh, pretty. And nice music too. I can see a tree. I couldn't see a tree before. Now I can see a tree. Surely this is the Portal 2 of Stanley Parable games. Uh-oh. Well, tree's gone. I think all is endless desert now. Ooh, even the endless void of nothingness is nothing. That's fun. Don't like that noise. The button fell over. Oh, the whole thing fell over. I can get out! I can get out! Ooh, now it's an open world game. Which direction should I go in the endless desert? I should chase the sun, that's what I should do. That cloud looks like a dog. You see it? Well, kind of like a cartoon dog with funny hair. Ooh, look, some rocks. Oh. That seemed of all new content, I assume.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. New content? Oh boy!
Good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to
We've had a lot of time to work on it, so it must be something truly new and exciting. Oh, here we go, into the darkness. Is this going to be revenge for me basically torturing him for endless eternity? Let's find out.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
2? Oh my god! Oh, it was a trick. This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes,
New mug!
Isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
The end is
Why
never
there's
the
so
end
many
again.
Possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans
Investor
have truly been
showcase.
asking for.
Ooh, taste the sequel. Soda.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's
Just the
future-oriented.
two of
It
us.
screams
We can
progress
make
and
it if we
innovation
try.
and
Just the
long-term
two of
franchising
us.
potential.
You and I. Don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. This is my second cup. Amazing. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Oh, this is amazing. Truly, this is the most Ultra Deluxe logo ideas. This is great. I like this one. Where is it? The with the 2 in the title. That's pretty good. Oh, this is also shiny and new. It's very
Now, to
modern.
be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable
Oh.
2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development
Yeah.
is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
All of these are great. All of these are considered universally great, and look forward to Words Here too, next year. Ooh, the new content bus, nice, nice. Upstairs for Stanley Parable 2. Expo Hall 2, nice, nice. Good get. Ooh.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. I hope that's not true. Everyone's got a name. Here, yours today.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Here we go. I'm going to press the button.
Jim.
That's not
Sorry,
right.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name.
Imagine if your
whatever
name was
that
Jim.
is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep
Like
breath.
for a split second,
Clear
you'd
your
actually
mind,
think,
forget
oh my
whoever
God.
you are,
It actually said
simply
my name.
Become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Okay, okay. Jim. A guy named Jim. Jim has had his hopes crushed. He's I don't know. What is Jim's life like then? Is he simply living on his own? Does he question his world, his body, his self? Who is Jim? Jim's starting to sound like me. Wait. No, I need to be somebody else if I'm going to be Jim. I can't press the button if I'm me still. I have to be Jim. I think Jim... Does Jim go to the gym? Is that too obvious? It's kind of on the nose. I don't know if I can really be Jim. Am I really allowed to press the button then? Maybe I just think about Jim some more. If I just keep saying Jim. Jim. Actually, no, it's kind of just losing all meaning. But I guess I could just press the button. I mean, I need to know what's going to happen next. I need to see the next area. So I need to press the button. I can't leave until I do that. I don't know if I can actually... Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and press it. I don't even think it knows whether I'm really being Jim or if I'm just being me. I think it's okay. I think I can just press the button. I'm going to press it. Here I go. I'm going to press it right now.
Jim.
Yes, you see, what a thrill,
No,
what a rush. That was you.
I'm not really feeling it.
The button described you.
I'm
Do
not
it again,
Jim.
Do it again.
I'm not Jim. I'll never be Jim. I think Jim might be better than me.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this
I'm
were
glad
the
you were
only
enjoying
new
it.
feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Oh, do I have to go all the way back down? I kind of want to press it again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much. I'm putting the gym button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all
Wait,
sense
how
of
are you
who
putting it away? Oh,
actually
there it
are.
goes. I wonder if I could have pressed it on the way down.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
So there is... Okay, wait. What is... Say, epilogue? Reassurance bucket. New feature. Ooh, there's merch! I gotta get some merch. This t-shirt is the best new feature. The end is never the end again.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Oh,
It's
here it
the
comes.
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
What's
Can
so funny?
you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
I feel
can
mostly like
say
I'm
that
holding
I
a
do
bucket.
believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well.
I'm keeping the bucket.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Door's closed.
The benefits of the
Oh, it
bucket
makes little
seem to
jingies
go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. It's my bucket now. I just have the bucket now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Look at Stanley. Please, no screenshots. Is this infinite hole?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Do I get to say? Oh. I think Get Well Someday is more ominous. Happy 12th Birthday Stepniece is weirdly specific, and that's kind of funny, but I think this is the better option.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
God damn it.
12th birthday stepniece it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Free, new and easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. I love achievements. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all
I
over
gotta
the
know.
world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Give it. Is the bucket helpful? Aw, I could put the bucket on my head and pretend I live in a world where I have the achievement.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh, the new content, the jump circle, or jumps remaining 0.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh man. Oh, there's a map. Jump circle this map. Nice. Okay. Free achievement. The button that says the name of the game, player that playing the game, merch, settings, world champion. What? Stanley Parable reassurance bucket, office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole. Can you find them? What the hell?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move.
I hate to
hell
hear that
on
the
with
bucket
your
is here with me.
unremarkable life.
Or else I won't feel reassured. Can I go get it? I can't actually reach it. Or am I getting closer? I can't tell. Oh, I am getting closer. It's kind of creepy. But I'm okay. I had the reassurance bucket. Yay! Well, I found one of
It
them.
really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Infinite hole. It won't end. Time, depth, time like infinity, space like infinity. Huh. Educational use only. Great typo.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
Infinite hole.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Is there something further up? I don't know if I want to give that a try. Okay, there isn't. I genuinely would not be surprised if they would, oh, they put a thing over the cup when I got in. That's fun. I would not be surprised if you actually jump in there and then you just fall forever. But you know what? You only fall forever once.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I don't know. I'm getting more and more used to it.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? Pretty certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite... Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you
I think I was just about to hit the bottom.
The sequel.
I think if I hit the bottom, I probably would have just died and had to redo some stuff. I don't know. I don't trust this game enough. I feel like it probably would have made me redo everything to get back here. I want to see that epilogue. I want to see the actual end, the after the end of Stanley Parable 2, which is also the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which is, of course, also the Stanley Parable, which means that that is the actual real ending. That's new.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Of course. You heard Jim in the game. You don't have anything to say about the merch? I think I missed something. Let me see. The baby is all grown up. Bankruptcy. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. Ray traced. Wouldn't that be great? Infinite hole. The button that says the name. It says one name. It says a name. Done the hole. Do I have to jump back in the hole and die? Is that what I have to do now? I wonder if there's actually more collectibles. I'm betting there isn't. A whole collectibles, office decorations, settings world champion. To the right of the reassurance bucket? I didn't find that, though. Where's the settings world champion? Is it up here? Ooh, I can go up. Okay, never mind. I guess I jump in the hole? I don't know what else to do. Time to die. All these memories will be lost like tears in the rain. It'll be fine. I have my reassurance bucket. Whee!
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I assume I had to do that to move on? Maybe he had more to say if I'd stayed, but I feel like I'm done with the hole. I've definitely done everything. What is there next? What is happening? The bucket is really starting to annoy me. Can I put the bucket back? No. Okay. Just checking. Wait, this one says exit. Maybe I can leave. Can I leave? Oh, exit. Okay, I think I found it. He probably gets really mad if you skip all that, huh?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Bag. Ooh.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
Big.
It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
This is how
Here it
game dev
is.
works exactly,
I
right?
give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
There's jumps remaining. Let me in. I can't jump
Hold
to get
on.
over there.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
This
I
is
wanted
very
more
serious.
than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh, that's cool. It's all wibbly. I can kind of see, like, oh, but you can't see down all the way down the hall. Probably repeats endlessly. Presentation. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
The balloons are there?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
I have to watch this whole thing because look, there's balloons.
Or even say hi. Never in
This is
all
completely
his
different.
years
This is
at the
Stanley
company
Parable 2,
had
not just
this
Stanley
happened.
Parable 1.
This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket's here. I can't get over this side. Username access. Where is the computer with the thing? I guess maybe it's gone?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I sure did. I don't know why. I saw it. I had to have it again.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You know what? Let's go with it this time. For a little bit anyway.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
It wants it.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Polish
I know
Cow
how hard it
48.
must be,
Thanks
given the
for
pressure that the
chatting
broom closet is
for the
putting
first
on your
time.
shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
I'm really enjoying
This is
Ultra
your
Deluxe.
companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends.
No, we are. I love
that
my
your
bucket.
relationship is purely superficial and convenient. That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in
Well,
an even partially enticing manner.
That might be true.
Never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed.
I have
and evolved
sketches
over the
of the
years.
bucket. Me in the bucket. Me wearing the bucket like a hat. Yep. I picked it up from a pedestal, and then I left, and the bucket was gone. But then it was on another pedestal. I picked it up.
And for all. Here we go.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I think we're done. I think we're done with the...
I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm
Wait,
going to
wait.
slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. See? I feel that it works.
I almost
because
left.
The sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
It's a bucket. Can I get another sticker if I stay?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay. I think that's it. I'm going to assume that's it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, no. Wait. You know what? Let's try down this time. With the bucket.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
I'm already feeling
implore
so
you to
giddy.
Savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
What's over here?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? Asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult
it's
times
repeating.
such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday
No,
bucket.
it says my name on it.
Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
It has my
Surely
name on-
no
no!
good would come
My
from
bucket!
this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh?
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! Bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
No,
of
it's
them
not
were
it.
his.
No.
None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to
Says
return
that?
to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real
No, I'm
bucket
not. I'm going. I'm
was
keeping going.
inside of him.
I'm going to find the bucket. I'm going to find my
It was
bucket.
incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
No. It had my name on it and a picture of a bucket.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Ooh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he had gone mad.
ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
That's true.
Perhaps he didn't
I
even
should have never left the
realize
bucket
he'd forgotten
behind.
his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass, and she backflipped all the way to work.
My life kicks ass, because I've got a bucket. Oh, here we go again.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Figurine Fighters Committee meetings today. Ooh, it's still got the stickers. I don't have to do the thing again. Bucket. Give me.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I am very comforted. That is absolutely correct.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
In fact, I'm just going to do what the narrator says and see what's different. How can you find them? Bottom text. Small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There was no member of management, of course. Source of levitation? How can we tell if we spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Who did? Follow clues by employee 416. We can do it. Red room? They're called Figlies. I've already checked the broom closet. Let's check upstairs this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
The bathroom. Yes!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
To be rich? Is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Extreme bathrooms. Time magazine. It's just it's a clock. That's good. Very funny. Nope. Never mind. I thought about going back. Input received. Gotta go long enough to find out what that's all about, because I don't know if I ever found out originally. What the? Business strategy. What? Okay, I guess up we go. This is new. Stanley. Next time I have a long elevator ride in the game, I'm gonna hum this song. Just so we have Snake Eater for ladders, and now we have the Stanley song for elevators. Stanley. Oh. That went it went nowhere. Oh, that's great.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion.
Isn't there something if you don't do anything in here?
Be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Nope, you're right. I'm doing what you said.
Stanley
This piano
just sat
sounds
around
weird.
twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Let's try 1, 1, 1, 1.
2845.
1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 3. 1, 1, 1, 4. No? Okay. 1, 1, 1, 5.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
That's what
Stanley
happens.
got the hell along with the story. What did he do?
I knew there was something. Ooh.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think?
Considering that the sign earlier
What
said
name better
Figlies.
encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I get the feeling it's gonna be, what was it? Figlies, right? Yeah, Figlies. I love Figlies. I want to find all the Figlies.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Uh-oh.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
No, don't say that about the bucket. Maybe the bucket will be fine. Wait. Infinite hole? Ooh. Okay, maybe the bucket
As the
won't be
machine
fine.
whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh,
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In
New
a
narrator.
single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket.
The bucket's gone. Welcome to the grand exhibit, the bucket. You're standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void, but through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here with you into the real world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be a challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? One of those, probably. Chair in the corner. Nice.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think that's just 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Amazing. Ooh. The bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Amazing. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. No one. The stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Rest and relaxation. Doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Presented without commentary. Thank you. Ooh, a cave drawing of a bucket. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical use of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Amazing.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. It's the fucking hole! There it is! Alright, I'm gonna go get it. I'll get the jump back right when I reach the edge. They're gonna give me the jump back. Here we go. Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander.
How do I do that?
Of the world, a new vision.
I wanted to save the bucket. I wanted to. I really did. But it didn't give me a prompt, so I couldn't do it. You just keep... Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone, What could it mean?
They sure are.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Input accepted.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Bucket.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Wait, did I miss a... I gotta make sure I didn't miss a Figley. This is very important.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Wait, what's
And
this?
so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I gotta know. What is this?
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you,
You see,
Stanley.
your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we
Oh,
care
the
about you very
mannequin.
much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet.
I remember all
Because
this.
that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
No, I want
Don't
the
you
bucket.
want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's
The
what
truck
the fans
moved.
want. Let's do it.
Yay, Adventure Line.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Right. I remember this. Yes, I remember this. I remembered it and I clapped. Amazing. Oh,
This is what the Stanley
over.
Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now.
I
as
don't
it
think
was
that was
back
in there.
then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content
think
exactly
that's-
like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
no, they're gonna make me give up the bucket at the end of this, aren't they? I want to know what else there is to do with the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's
No.
why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No, I haven't heard all the
It'll make a
dialogue with the
wonderful new
bucket.
addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I refuse. It's my bucket. It's got my name on it. It's got a picture of a bucket on it.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give
Let
it
me
the
out.
bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
me
Destroying
out.
buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
Let me out.
I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable
Let me out.
characters? Well, you see,
I
if you were
refuse.
to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can
It's
you
really
even say
shaking.
that about? The
Oh,
Broom
no.
Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry
No.
and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer.
I refuse.
Until you crush that damn
Oh.
bucket.
Oh,
Quickly
jeez.
now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley.
No.
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I love my bucket.
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
It's just starting over again? Okay.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yes, definitely home. I refuse to give up the bucket. In fact, I'm going to do
Stanley
it with
clutched the bucket tightly
Wait.
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's try this. Let's do the other thing
This was
again.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but
Definitely not
Stanley
going back
felt
down
the
there.
bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I gotta find those damn fig leaves.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift,
I can
yes.
hear the bucket
Go
speaking
there.
to me.
Go to the cargo lift.
I will do as you say, master.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking.
How do you get over there?
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
It's a little-
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No. I see a fig leaf. I want it. I had to figure out how to get there. There must be a way.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley,
Oh.
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't.
No.
a
Take me back to the
bucket.
fig leaf. That's all I
Please,
want.
Step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing
I'm
you
perfectly
is a
sane.
bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll
This is
ever need to
completely
know
pointless.
about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket.
What?
Not an bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Can I step down from? No. I'm not sure. I maybe not.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Are these never going to be buckets? They knew you'd pick no, so they made them not Okay.
Item 3.
But this one's got to be a bucket, though.
Correct. This
Oh.
is a bucket.
Whew. That's 2 out of 3. I think I know what a bucket is.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Well, no. It's obviously not. What?
Correct.
Okay,
This
good.
is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
No, it's still not a bucket. I'm pretty sure.
Incorrect.
What?
This is a bucket.
What do you? No. Elaborate. What do you mean that's a bucket?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Am I actually crazy?
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both what?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even say that. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets in the game.
No!
Okay, here we go.
I think he erased everything.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game.
I feel a little
Tell
buckety.
you what? I'll reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll
Thank God.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe
I would have
don't mention
uninstalled the
that.
game.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Input received. Oops. Welcome to heaven. Oh, it's amazing. Could I have brought the bucket to heaven? I do kind of have to wonder. I love pressing buttons. This is amazing. This is actually the best game ever made, in case you didn't know. Do you have to reset the game yourself at this point? I don't remember. Oh no. I think this is the true ending. Ooh, I can do it again. I can go back to heaven anytime I want.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on
Let's
his
see.
left.
We haven't done the real ending yet, have we? Let's just go ahead and go all the way there. Mission status. Inside of a sequel exhibit, a large room, lots of boxes. Some are both red and blue. Wait, I know.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Wait. I have important things to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Oh, another thrilling adventure.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the...
I kind of want to hang out in the employee lounge.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No,
but,
never mind. The bucket was wrong.
We have better
Stanley
things to
took the
do.
door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Oh, there's a ramp.
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
You're getting close now,
Oh,
Stanley.
5 out of
You've
6.
gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be
So good when that
different
happens. It's the best thing in the world.
sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Figler Annulines. Yep. That's a good name for it. Where am I? Narrator dialogue?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket,
The bucket again.
less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
I know exactly how you feel, buddy.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
that I got of buckets. Maybe we ignore the bucket this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can I get the bucket?
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh, this is different. Slightly.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
When I went right, I ended up getting... Because of the bucket, I think, I got a different thing. Like, well, let's just go ahead and go to the end. Let's see what happens. Let's follow the narrator this time. I have all but one. Some are both red and blue. I know where that is.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket, he didn't notice the keypad.
I did notice it. I've been pressing buttons.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I was kind of close-ish.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Here we go again.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Look, Bucket. Is that the infinite hole? What do you think, Bucket? Do you think that that's the infinite hole, or do you think we're going to see it later? Or is the infinite hole that hole that we couldn't fall in?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never!
But with more metal reverb, I guess.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible
Ever
power
again.
over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best
For a second there, I thought we forgot about the
Stanley and
bucket. We did not forget about the
against
bucket.
the world. They high-fived in a really cool way. And the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Of course, we beat the game again. I don't know why we played it a second time.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
It wants the bucket.
Even
No.
the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, and needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
My bucket.
My
Stanley precious.
Can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh, we're back again. I can go back to heaven.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Let's skip bucket and see if we can maybe go get another figure, a figly, or a figure lean.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.
Speed running
well.
time again.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And then maybe we destroy the
lounge was
bucket.
grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Here we go.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps...
I wonder,
we've
oh, there's
gotten
probably
off on the
dialogue
wrong
if you
foot
jump
here.
off
I'm not your enemy, really.
with the bucket.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Come on.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove
Red and blue.
Let me prove that I'm on
Yes.
your side. Give me a chance.
Yes! Yes! I can feel the
Now, listen
euphoria
carefully,
already.
This is important. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor this
Wiggly.
moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Yep.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward. And I can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
My life is meaningless now. There is nothing more for me. I don't remember what you said, so I'm going to bloom blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked
Oh,
through
okay.
the
Sorry.
red door.
The red door.
Oh,
There we
thank
go.
God, you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Must kill bucket. No happiness for you. What the?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figures. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it
was.
fill you to the brim with inner
And then I was
richness?
completely empty.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Oh, the memory zone. This went horribly, horribly wrong. And I definitely think it won't this time. It'll be perfectly fine. Oh, they're going down into the basement.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Can I collect it again? 7 out of 6.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Boss's bathroom or boss's
Okay,
office?
Let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your
Ooh.
third mini stand? Can you remember?
It was the bathroom, right?
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
I sure did.
These moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't
They
be
just
surprised.
happened.
After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember this. I think you made this one up.
This was the 5th mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh. What if this was the first one I found? I guess it can't be. Starring Stanley.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
It does feel like, I mean, couldn't I have gotten them in different orders?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
That's probably
Who
it.
can truly say how the mind works? All
It's
I
so
know is that
mysterious.
This is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I have 12 now. Oh, these both go to the same place.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh, okay. No more jokes in the memory zone. Memory zone is out. Wait.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Okay.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if
I don't
there had
remember
been
where I
any
found that
kind
one
of
now.
reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I don't know.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? Classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I
There
can
was starting the
remember.
stream.
I can remember.
I started the stream, and then...
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became
Hi,
lazy,
Strawberry Bear
and
Cake.
I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own.
Are we going to play as the narrator?
I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Ooh.
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go.
Just one more.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I want to get rid of that bucket. And then he went to heaven. Oh,
How
the
long was I
boxes are
sitting
here.
there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Bucket
A
time.
good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Such a good bucket. I will pet my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think it's this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling.
I think
to
I've
him,
gotten all the
telling him
bucket
that
content.
The employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
I haven't
The
sat in the
bucket
employee
turned out to
lounge
be
with the
correct.
bucket.
Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Give me soda.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket
great
had
stuff.
inspired. No, never mind. The
Bucket's still
was
wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I wonder what happens if you take the... Oh, there's still at least one more thing I want to do with the bucket. No.
Oh,
It has to end now.
Stanley, I'm glad you found your
This
way
has to be the
here.
last thing I do
knew
before I
you'd
stop the
find
stream.
This place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together
I've
here
already done
because
this.
we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's
I
just
know.
sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and
Let
the
me
Broom
out.
Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where
Not
it'll
even gonna
go
walk
off
on
to
the
next.
line.
Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's
I'm doing
why
it.
I'm very proud
I'm tossing
to
it in.
introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was
Can always
not in
reset
the
if I want the
original game,
bucket
but it's
back.
such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast
Come on.
all along.
Turn
Don't
it
you
on.
agree?
We're doing this.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer
No more
does?
bucket. No
Surely you
more
don't need me
bucket.
to spell it
No
out
more
for you.
bucket. I'm over bucket.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. Bucket. In. Put the bucket in. I'm done.
Now listen
No
to
more
me.
bucket.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know
I
what
can't
the
give it the bucket.
Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your
I
bucket.
can't.
Destroying buckets is all it knows.
Truly, there was never
That
any
is
choice. Oh no. There is never. The end 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 is never.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Bucket.
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt
I wanna
the
try
bucket
going
calling
across
to him,
with the bucket.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
I'm
There's
doing what the
something up
bucket
there
says
I
this
need you
time.
to do.
I must
Stanley
obey
did
the
not
bucket.
question
I
why
must
or
obey
how
the
this
bucket.
bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
It did speak. I heard
unthinkingly
it.
did whatever the bucket asked.
Everybody heard that, right?
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
It's not
Stanley
that dark.
once again obeyed.
Oh, there it is.
blindly.
Nope.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Your bucket. Press Q to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
I don't believe it. No.
Lately,
It's my-
I've been concerned about him.
precious.
Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer
It's
a
there.
liquid from one location
In the back
to
of
a
my
different
my head.
location. That's it. It doesn't do anything
Always
else.
talking to me.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad. I suppose he doesn't.
I will ignore everyone and everything.
On, he's just
I will only
bucket,
hold on to my bucket.
Empty bucket. This sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings. The bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps
It's
if
a
I
bucket.
had the bucket, this would
Poster.
be less confusing. Yes. The bucket
Picture
could
of
tell
bucket.
me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Got this poster too.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Okay. Go back to work, Stanley.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Huh? It's the right door number, isn't it? I don't think anything's wrong.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. on
Wait,
his
what?
left.
Do I need to pick the bucket? Alright, I'm gonna pick up the bucket one more time. What? Huh?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, this is the quick one. Okay.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Okay.
and entered the door on his left.
That might be enough of this. I love this game. I feel like I got enough out of it. Boom. But I think that might be it for tonight. Let's see, where is... Oh, I'm still being heard, but voice meter apparently isn't actually running. Oh, there it is. Oh, it was running, maybe. I just didn't see it. Well, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and pop this down a bit. That was, I mean, let's see. Oop, wait. There you go. Now you're seeing it. I didn't switch it. Oh, that was dumb. Okay. I mean, there was some great new content. And some great old content. I almost wish that I'd, I hadn't been streaming back then when it first came out, but I almost wish that I had streamed that, the original version. It might have been nice to have both to kind of look put side by side, But still, I thought that was really fun and bizarre, and well, yeah, all the things that I expected it to be from the Stanley Parable. I think there might be a couple of people here. I can't tell for certain. I can never tell because, I don't know. That's how I am. But I don't care how many people there are. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to raid someone, regardless. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? For instance, you might hear a funny noise right now. No? Oh, there. No, yep, there it is, and there it's gone. Don't worry about it. Nito is playing Silent Hill 2. Semi-Spree is doing art once again. I don't know. Let's go back to Nito. It's been a while, and I think he might be doing something that we can actually watch in a language we know. Oh, wait. That does not look like Silent Hill. Maybe we don't go there. What's Semi-Spree doing? I see a butt, but it's a very cute butt. You'll see. Yeah, this is fine. This is probably better. 1 viewer ready to raid. 2 viewers ready to raid. 3 viewers ready to raid. Amazing stuff. Tiny raid. Let's go. Let's go. Tiny raid. Tiny raid. Tiny raid. Yeah. Tell them about the bucket. Tell them about the bucket. Tell them about the bucket. Bye-bye.